Good evening, ladies and gents, welcome back to the channel. Just having a little drive in Orwin. I just wanted to give you a bit of a project update on some of my cars that I'm working on. I've not actually done a full project video, and I've been thinking really I ought to do, because a lot of people who watch this channel obviously know about Orwin, and you might have seen the videos that I did recently of my Nova as well. I've got a 1991 Nova GSI, which I've owned since 2004. But I've not really done a lot of talking about any of my other projects or my other cars. So I'll just give you the rundown of the cars that I've got. So in date order, I've got my 1977 Mark 1 Cavalier, which there is actually a couple of videos of that on my channel, so if you want to see what that is like, you can look at the car. I'm still waiting on a fuel tank coming. One of my mates is supposed to be sending me a fuel tank, because the problem with that is it's got an issue with running, and if you go and watch the two videos on my channel, you'll be able to see what the issue is. And it's just as if somebody's, you know, cut the fuel, and in fact a couple of times the fuel pump has cut out. I have since replaced the fuel pump relay, because I do think that the relay was faulty as well, but it's still got the issue of cutting out. And I found out that basically the fuel tank on the car is one designed for a carburetor fed engine and not for fuel injection. Just going to get a little noise under this little bridge. Oh, that sounded nice. Yeah, so once that tank comes, I'll get it fitted and I'll see if it solves all the running issues. It might not solve the running issues, it might still have got other problems, but until I fit the new tank, I'll not know for definite. So that's just a bit of a waiting game for that. Next one in date order is this one actually, Orwin 1984 Mark II Cavalier with a Mark III Cavalier SRI 130 engine in it, 130 horsepower, 2 litre 8 valve. So that's what I'm driving now. It's my daily driver. I just basically do regular maintenance on this. It doesn't really need a great deal doing to it, to be honest. It's my Ratlook Cav. You know, it's got lots of patina, that word again that a lot of people don't like being said, but yeah, it's covered in patina, blobs of rust. And again, if you go back through the videos, there is a video all about Orwin on the channel where I walk around the car and I show you the car. Whoops, just did a dodgy gear change then. And I show you the car and I show you all his features and his rust. And nice little fun bit of road. Sorry, I keep getting distracted because obviously I'm driving Orwin, so I'm getting distracted by the engine noise. But yeah, so that's Orwin. The next one in date order is Brad. Now Brad is Mark II Cavalier like Orwin, but he is a convertible, soft top. He's from 1986. He's on a C plate. So it's the next reg after this. This is a B reg, so it's a C plate. So I just put my foot down because there were knobhead tailgating me. I don't like knobheads tailgating. Yeah, so Brad is a 1986 C plate Mark II Cavalier convertible. He's in red, Got black leather interior, which is custom interior, and I've had him for like, I think 8-9 years, something like that, but he's never been on the road in all the time that I've owned him. I never ever got around to getting him on the road. So he's one that I am trying to sort. I will just tell you that this road I'm driving up now is called Jenkin Hill. And if you remember when the Tour de France came to the UK, the Tour de France actually came up this road. It's one of the steepest roads in Britain, particularly this bit. Just look how steep this bit is here. I need to do this in daylight really, so you can see. But this bend here is quite steep and sharp. Yeah, I need to do this again in daylight, but what I also need to do is do it the other direction so you can see the view over the city, because it's a pretty impressive view from there. Anyway, sorry about that, I do digress. So going back to my projects, yeah, so Brad, I bought him as a project. The guy who was doing him up also had an old 1950s Austin, and he was really wanting to get his Austin sorted and restored and in the garage. So that's why he sold Brad. He advertised Brad for sale, and I obviously bought him. The reason he's called Brad is because he came from Bradford, and that was the only reason why he's called Brad, is because he came from Bradford. So a bit of a funny name, but there you go. Now the previous owner, he'd done a lot of restoration work on the car long before I bought him. He'd actually replaced all the bushers, the brake pipes, the fuel pipes, new springs and shocks, new fuel tank, new exhaust, absolutely loads of stuff he'd done on it. So I'm hoping that when it comes to me doing an MOT, it shouldn't need much at all, because everything's all been replaced, you know, ball joints and track rod ends and everything. He'd replaced it when he was, you know, trying to do the work. The main thing it's going to need is more body work in terms of paint work, because the paint work's a little bit shot in places. A lot of the paint's actually okay, but like the bonnet, he'd sanded the bonnet down ready to prime it and paint it, so the bonnet's completely sanded down to bare metal in places as well. So it's going to need a fair bit of paint work. Next one on from that is Silvia. Now Silvia's another Mark II Cavalier, 1986 saloon in silver, hence the name Silvia. I didn't actually give her the name was given by the previous owner, a girl called Aurora. She owned the car for a year and a bit, but then she was moving back to France, because that's where she's from, and she put Silvia up for sale. I contacted her, said yes, because I'd been without a Cavalier for quite a few years prior to that, since my previous SRI was stolen back in 2004, and I'd been longing for another Mark II Cav. I'd been really wanting another Mark II Cav, so I bought Silvia. I've had Silvia 11 years this year. She's currently off the road on Soane. She is needing an MOT. I let the MOT lapse last year because obviously COVID and lockdown and everything else. The garages that I normally do MOTs at or whatever were not open at the time when the MOT was due. So I let the MOT lapse, and then I put her on Soane, and she's been off the road since. So she just needs a couple of little bits doing. There's a little patch on the back end of one sill that needs doing. Other than that, it's just a case of put her through an MOT and just see what happens. I don't know if she'll need anything else. She's been pretty good on MOTs in the past. One problem that she has suffered from has been the brake balance. Don't know why, but she's always had an issue with brake balance on the front two calipers. They've always been a bit of an issue, and I did swap the calipers, and it was a lot better once I'd swapped the calipers. So hopefully she'll be all right. Hopefully she'll be all right. Let's think of date order. So next one after Silvia, she's a D plate actually, 1986 D plate, just to mention that. So in Mark II cabs I've got a B, C and D. And if you include the one that got stolen, that was an E. I do still actually own that car. I've still got the spare key for it, I've still got the logbook, I've still got the service manuals and everything, but the car was stolen and it was never recovered, it was never found. So if you include that, I have actually got an E plate one as well. So what's the next one after that? That's 86. I'm getting confused with my own cars. Trying to think which one's next then in terms of age. So I'm going down this street that's got speed bumps and they're a pain in the arse. These little ones that stick up, and these ones aren't too high. There's some that I go over on a regular basis and they're a lot taller than this, and the exhaust catchers. These ones aren't too bad actually. I can go over these at a reasonable speed. Just thinking of date order. So the next one is Trevor, my Vauxhall Frontera. He's a 1998 2.5 TDS long wheelbase. Again, there's a couple of videos of Trevor on the channel. I really shouldn't have come this way with all these chuffing speed bumps. Sorry about this, guys. Yeah, there's a video on the channel of when I started him up from cold. So again, if you look through my videos, you'll see the video I did of Trevor. Yeah, I definitely shouldn't have come this way with all these bloody speed bumps. Yeah, so Trevor, I'm just in the process at the moment of getting him ready for an MOT. I've just about done everything I think is needed. I've probably got like another few hours of work to do on him. One day, maybe tomorrow, day after. Just a bit of extra work required to get an MOT on, and then my plan with Trevor is actually, once he's MOT'd, is actually then to get him sold. It's the only one that I am actually planning on selling. Next one in date order then is my last one. I don't think I've missed one, which is my Vectra Gsi. Oh, I forgot my Nova, 1991 H plate, my Nova GSI. That was the next one. I've missed that one out, but you know about that one already. So then Trevor, and then my newest one is a 2000 X-Reg Vectra Gsi. So that's actually my newest car that I've got, and that is a Phase 2 GSI saloon. For anybody who doesn't know, the Vectra B, as it's called in the UK, had a facelift, and the facelift one is what they call the Phase 2. So there's Phase 1 and Phase 2. Mine's a Phase 2. It's a 2.5 V6, completely standard car apart from a Piper Cross induction kit. That's the only modification, which sounds absolutely awesome. Awesome sounding induction kit. Same thing as with Trevor, you know, I'm looking to get that MOT'd by actually, rather than selling it, I want to get that on the road to use it and enjoy it, because it's awesome having Orwin as an everyday car like I have, but I do really want to get the Vectra on the road, so I've got two cars which I can rely on as regular daily drivers. So that's what I'm hoping to do. So there you go. That's a full breakdown, a full list of my current cars. So yeah, I've got 7 on the go at the moment, all of which need attention. They all need work doing on them, they all need jobs doing. So I've certainly got my hands full. Obviously being on lockdown, dickhead, see him then. Let's just run across road in front of a moving car, or a spaz. Anyway, sorry, I shouldn't use that word, that's not politically correct, is it? Apologies for that. But yeah, what an idiot. Well, let's just run across the road in front of a moving car. Well done. Anyway, I'm just gonna I'm gonna leave it there for now, guys. So I'll do an individual walk around video of each of my other cars as time goes on. I'm just gonna pull in and stop here just one sec, so I can do like an outro. There's nothing behind me. So yeah, so there you go, guys. So yeah, I'll leave it there for now. I'll do an individual walk around video on each of my different cars as time goes on. I've done one for the Nova. I'll do more videos on the Nova as time goes on. I'll do a proper walk around video of the Mark 1, because you've seen a couple of driving videos of the Mark 1. Once I get the new tank installed and fitted, I'll do driving videos, and I'll do some general walk around videos as well of that. I'll do some walk around videos of Silvia as well, and the Vectra. So there's 7 projects on the go, so there's going to be loads of content for the channel. So ideal for anybody who's a bit of a old school retro Vauxhall fan. 7 different cars I can do videos on, so plenty of stuff to keep you entertained. Alright then, guys, so I'll leave it there for now then. So until next time, thanks a lot for watching. Please like, browse, subscribe, notification bell, the usual jive, and take it easy, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.